Morning, Anna. That's a good stretch. Good stretch. You too, Didge. Good stretch. Today is going to be the day that we fire that brand new dryer. It better be anyway. Something's wrong if we don't. Are you good? Good morning. Thank you to Simplisafe for sponsoring today's video. There's no safe like Simplisafe. Geez, it might be a coat and gloves kind of day. This wind is cold. We've got 3 trucks full of corn and a grain cart sitting right out there. So we've got 4,500 bushels or so to run up into the wet bin. Once we got everything working there, we make sure the leg is working right after DHS was up there and fixed things. We'll get some corn in there, and then we're gonna fire this bad boy. Our exchanger wheel is set to dryer. Our dryer is still closed up there, which is fine because I want everything to go into the wet bins. I did move these the other day, so this is the new wet bin. That one we want to keep empty for now. In other words, if I fire the leg and start putting corn in the pits and run it in there, it should go to that wet bin. It appears to be coming in. Okay. Well, somehow our hinges on one of our doors got out of adjustment by sitting here and doing nothing. That figures it's always something. I can let that fill for a bit before I got to get over here and figure out what I got to do with this. That's convenient. For the time being, I fixed it. I just had to get real mad at it off camera. Okay, let's test this and see what we got in truck number 1. Ooh. Now, how in the world did that get in there? Right out of the field. That is magical. As in past years, I'm going to have to explain myself why we are harvesting before the corn is completely dry. There's a few reasons. I mean, we've got a good forecast right now. It looks like the 2-week forecast looks really nice, but at any point in west central Minnesota, the weather can flip. If we get an inch of rain with the temperatures we have at night and way less sunshine right now, it will not dry. It just does not dry. So in order to get the corn in, get the tillage done, get everything done before it rains or freezes, because we harvest on frozen ground plenty. We don't like doing it, but it happens. So before that happens, we want to get the crop off. 17% is plenty dry enough for us. That's why we own that new dryer out there. Morning.
Did you test any of that?
17.
Same as right what the combine was saying.
The front was like 17.2 or 3, and the back was 17.0.
Wow, this borderline putting right in the bin and just turning air on it.
Especially with some 80-degree days coming.
Yeah.
Next on the list is to transfer corn. We're going to try and get down, we're going to get down to the floor in this bin so that we can get eyes on it, make sure all the sumps are open, everything's good before we start filling it full of corn. And we've already done that in this back bin here, so that's where we're transferring that corn to, is back into here. So basically we're just making sure all the bins are good and clean, the sumps are moving, everything's flowing. So there we are, just moving from one bin to another. We've got a bin where the, I don't know what you'd call it, like the edging around the outside sump. I feel like I can't talk. Anyway, I need some self-tappers, probably about this long. What's that, 10 by 1? Need some of these. I'll put them in my back pocket like every good mechanic does. I'll just show you what's going on. When that nasty windstorm came through a couple years ago where we lost a bin in a shed, something tweaked in here. And we had to basically take all the bolts out of this to allow to be able to move the sumps in there. Well, when we turn the fans on now, it pushes this out and all the air escapes here, and we need the air to go up through the corn go out the top. So we want as little amount of air to come out here as we can get. So I'm just gonna screw it back in there again, that's all. That's it. One. Dos. Oh no. Well, it was close to 3. Got a half dozen in there, that should be good. I always like to check, make sure they're not spinning backwards. That can happen. I've explained a little bit before, but where the air goes in underneath the floor, there's no corn down here. So the corn, right, that's the concrete. There's no corn down here. So the corn starts up here, then it's a perforated floor, lets the air go out through the corn. Well, if there's a gigantic hole on the other side of the floor, it just goes through underneath the floor and it doesn't push out up through the corn and come out through the vents on the top of the bin. And the air is important to keep the corn cool and keep it from spoiling. All right, drop that off at the grain cart. We got things running back home. I got the Vikings game on. And I got the hounds with. And all I'm doing is going back into the yard. Intercepted by the Jets. Okay, maybe I should turn the game back off. Come on now. Time to go take a few acres out. I'm gonna fold up here and we're gonna drive up the road about 3/4 of a mile just to try some different corn that was planted on a different date, because the theory is this is 200 acres left of standing corn that's about 1% of moisture away from not needing to be dried at all. Meaning if we come back to it in 2 or 3 days, we don't need to dry it at all. We don't know, is the stuff up the road wetter? It should be because it's a later hybrid. We don't really know what to do. It's almost like if we waited a week, we wouldn't have to dry anything, but we're not gonna do that. We have to go on something, because either the wind or the rain or the snow will start to knock things down and cause problems. And the Vikings go 5-0. That's sweet. Back to the corn, basically what I'm saying is, yes, we could save a little bit of money, probably, if we waited a week for everything to dry down a little bit more. It's also risky. If you had $1 million of crop standing in the field that you could harvest, would you leave it out there and risk it just to save a few thousand? I'm not gonna. Dang it! The girls made me a snack and then I wasn't responsible enough with it.
And Wilson gets a 1-yard touchdown pass from Aaron Rodgers, an 8-play 42.
All the folks with the Vikings that plan this thing year-round, there's a lot of people that are really proud of what we went down there and got those 3 points. I really kind of run here where the momentum.
Well, the corn isn't quite as dry here. It's a little bit more variable. The stuff in this area is 21, 22%, but then up in another spot in the end rows, it's down to that 15%. So a lot more variable, which was a lot closer to what we were really expecting when we started this year. I think our yield will be all right, though, especially once we get off the end rows. Yeah, kind of what I'm thinking. Maybe it'll even out a little bit as we get into the field. But yeah, that works for me. We'll just stay here, pick out these acres for now and get the dryer going.
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
Does a normal hot rod, which is the first inside.
What time do you need to leave the field, Honey?
Our grain cart driver's got hockey practice this afternoon, so we're gonna lose him soon. Quick stop to make sure everything looks good here. Make sure our ground is clean. I did a power shutdown as well, so the chaffer and sieves, everything is still full in there, so I'm gonna get in there and look and see if we're overloading one side at all. But so far, you can see I scratched around here. There's a couple kernels there. Right in the middle to the left side of the machine. Good looking cobs coming out the back. So our concaves are set well. And that looks pretty close, it looks pretty good. The sample in the tank looks all right. I just need to be careful to not outdrive the capacity of the machine. It seems like it has enough power that I get into good corn and I want to drive a little too fast and push too much material through it. So we had an issue, or we've got an issue with our returns, our re-thresher, whatever you want to call it. Return elevator speed is 0. As you can see, we're way overloading the system here, so I shut it down. We're plugged right now, but this is not supposed to be here. That's supposed to be in the tank. I don't know if we got a belt pad or a bearing going or something, so we're gonna open the door. Yeah, go ahead and drop it. No, it's full of corn. Is it full in there?
It's empty.
It's empty, yeah, so it cleared itself out of there. You want to fire it up and I'll watch that elevator?
Yeah.
Tad's gonna fire it up and we'll see if this will clear itself out at all. Oh good, it moves. But why did it plug? We talked to one of our local techs a little bit, and I'm gonna change my settings a little bit. I always want my sample so clean, and it is, but maybe I've got the sieves too tight, the sample's too clean. I've got the deep tooth chaffer in, so normally sieves would be, you know, down around that number. So I didn't think I was too far off, but I don't know, I guess we'll try it. So far, looking on the monitor, it seems like that helped to not overload the tailing so much, but I can't see what the sample looks like right now.
Yeah, we can look at that at the end. I bet it isn't bad.
Well, it sure looks clean going in the cart. It'll be easier once we're stopped unloading to see what it looks like, but it's not bad. I mean, that still looks pretty good.
Park this on the end?
We've got everything full at the moment, 3 trucks and a grain cart. Might even have the pits full at home. So we are gonna head home before I get a decent test on this thing, but I think we're close. I mean, I never seem to stop fine-tuning things when I'm in a combine. It's just like, it's what there is to do, so it's what I do. We're gonna go fire the dryer now, move corn into it, and probably fire it up. I'm gonna say it again, I cannot believe the weather that we've gotten this fall. It's windy out today, but this is not what I had anticipated a month ago. You guys know that we have a lot of stuff going on here on the farm. We have a lot of moving pieces, and I'm not always here. I might be out in the field, or I might be out on the road for something, so I like to keep an eye on the place. I've told you about all the cool stuff that Simplisafe does for us, where I can use the app to see the temperature in the shop, and I can use the cameras to see who's at my front door, or make sure that the shop doors are closed, or I have carbon monoxide detectors, smoke alarms, glass break sensors, motion sensors, door sensors, you name it. Well, now they've got a really cool new option to add to the list. This is called Active Guard Outdoor Protection, where they actually use an outdoor camera, and they can use AI to recognize threats or dangers or unwelcome people to your property. So a traditional alarm, a traditional system goes off if somebody breaks into your house, let's say, but that still gives an intruder like time to grab your cash box or your computer or your jewelry or whatever, your Babe Ruth rookie card, whatever it might be, right? They can still grab that and get out of there. But with Active Guard Outdoor Protection, they can actually stop this from happening in the first place, because the agents at Simplisafe can speak directly to an unwelcome guest. There are no other systems that actually offer this kind of indoor and outdoor protection to your home. It starts at less than $1 a day for a plan. It gets delivered directly to your home or place of business. You can install it yourself in minutes. It's so easy, even I did it. So you can actually save 50% off of your Simplisafe security system when you sign up for a core monitoring plan and get your first month for free. Just visit simplisafe.com/millennialfarmer to get started on ordering yours today. Because there is no safe like Simplisafe. So before we fire this thing up, I've climbed up into the plenum here. I guess I'm gonna call it a plenum. I gotta talk a little quieter, but show you guys what's inside here. So in where I'm standing now, there will not be any corn ever flowing. This is a burner up here, so it's gonna be really hot in here when this thing starts running. This is your sensor wire to let you know how hot it is. But the corn's going to be inside the walls. The walls are, I don't know, maybe 2 feet thick. And the corn's just going to be flowing through there once I close this door. And the fan, the burner up here is pushing air into here. The only way for that air to get out of here is to go through this corn one way or another. So it's going to go in through here and find its way out through one of those other triangles. There will be corn flowing right through here as it's running. I have ascended much higher now, so I'm at the very top of the dryer. So there's 3 plenums, like the one I was just in. So it's the same thing, just 3 separate sections. The corn's just gonna keep flowing from top to bottom. So we're gonna start transferring into there. We're gonna have the meter rolls moving to be moving a little bit of corn right away. So we wanna make sure we're going into the bin we wanna go to, which we are. We're set up for that. Now that should open access at the top of the leg to the dryer, so it'll priority feed the dryer before overflowing into the wet bin. I think before we start the air system, let's run 50 bushels so we can hear better and make sure it's going into the dryer where we think it's supposed to.
Yep, I think so too.
And then
100 bushels into the dryer.
Yeah, run 100 bushels and then shut everything off, make sure we can see where it's going.
Yep.
And then we'll start up the meter rolls in the air. I have good news, bad news, and then good news again.
What's that?
The corn's going in the dryer, but a few kernels are going out here, but there's nothing we can do about it because they're bouncing out of those triangles.
That's what I'm thinking. They're hitting the other triangle and bouncing out the first time you fill it.
So, I think it's correct. I was worried there was something open at the top.
Or something leaking.
Alright, we're filling again now, which is much louder than I thought it would be. Big and loud and dusty. Okay, I'm leaving a lot off cameras. We're doing a lot of thinking here and it kind of hurts our heads. The variable rate air system and airlock is going right now, but it's so quiet because there's no corn being fed to it. So we just turned the meter rolls on at 2%, which should be feeding corn to it very, very slowly, which you can see right here. So it's turning the meter rolls, the corn just hasn't gotten to it yet because it's going so slow. You know, it's going through that extension, I bet. Once it hits this and starts falling, this will sense the extra load on the system and it'll pick up automatically. I think. We can hear corn trickling through the pipe now, so there's corn moving through the air system at a very slow speed. And it should be going into this bin here. And I can definitely hear it coming through this pipe and going up there. Can you hear it?
Yeah, it just seems like it doesn't have enough power to blow it all the way to the top of the bin, but it's coming in there, isn't it? The eyes aren't good, but I think I can hear it.
I can hear it through the pipe, so it's going somewhere over here. Hopefully it's inside the bin.
In there, I can see them now.
Okay. See that air pipe behind me? This one right here? Now it's plugged. I don't know why. It's like the air system didn't pick up and compensate, like when I said I think. Apparently I thought wrong. It's got corn in it all the way to here.
All the way, it didn't have enough pressure to blow it up there.
No. Oh man.
That is bad. What's going on there? It moves that hard now. That is open. Oh man, that wasn't like that last year. There is a pre-circ on that, maybe we can hit that.
So we moved this off of our plugged pipe and we're going to try and push a little bit of what's in here into that bin. and then see if it'll push the rest out, but it won't. It's moving. Is it going to trip out? No, it opened. It did blow that pipe clean. It blew that pipe clean. The tough part is now we move it back to that other pipe, and it's got 200 more feet of packed corn to try to move uphill. We're gonna try something different now. So I got my eye protection and my earplugs on. It killed the motor. I couldn't even, it latched so quick I couldn't even pull it off when the motor started bogging. What? Yeah, I just threw the fault, I'm sure. It didn't move a thing. You think there's a chance in hell? No, it didn't even come close to attempting that. That was a complete failure. A quick one. Well, I'm gonna go grab an impact and we're gonna take the pipe apart. I did talk to DHS for a second. For whatever reason, the motor wasn't on full speed, so it wasn't set or it wasn't capable of picking up enough speed to keep up with that corn. I don't know why it was when they left here, so I don't know if I ran it on a different mode or what happened there. Okay, well I hope we got it open by then, but I'll try what you're saying here and see if we can get it. All right, thanks, Dita. Bye. Dita says he's never not been able to get one. He said instead of slamming that pipe like I did and getting it latched, he said just keep working at it a little bit at a time and eventually it'll start opening up. I think we should try it once more.
Keep working the pipe back and forth?
Like the lever I had, you know, like I put it on and I pulled it too far and it latched shut. He said just give it a little, back it off, give it a little, back it off, and just keep working at it.
Sure, try it. We've already
blown
once, but as far as I can reach up there, it's full.
Okay, so I doubt it's going to work, but let's try it before we dump 10 bushels on the ground.
Yep.
If it doesn't work and we pull one of these clamps, and that pipe is full, then I bet it'll loosen up.
Yeah, that's what we did last time.
Right.
10, 12 years ago.
We'll sweep the concrete so we can clean it up quick.
Yeah, then it'll be out in the grass.
The corn?
Yeah.
Was it that much?
I'll bet it's 10 bushels. It comes out pretty fast and hard.
It's always nice to have extra messes to clean up anyway. Got it to seal on there and tripped it like that. There's no chance.
I don't think there is.
It's just too long of a run, it's too packed. There's no chance in hell we're gonna get that. An eighth, right? It's not, it's inch and 16th.
It is?
I don't know.
I think they're just loose. I think if we can leave them on and try and slide it off, just get it loose. We'll twist and slide back.
Mallet?
We'd like this to move with it, would be great if we can.
Yeah, I'll get a mallet.
Well, I wonder, maybe if you straddle this, or I can, and see about picking this up and see if we can slide it. I mean, you gotta make sure that black goes.
Well, I mean, I can try.
That's it, yeah.
I understand, I know what happens if we don't, but I can't move that at it all by hand.
I got it about an inch before, so
What if we take this support out? I know you got it an inch, but I can't go. There I can, but that's going backwards, I think. I don't think this is moving, it's this.
think so.
Yeah, 100% it's that. It's always a tight one.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're lifting on when you spin.
I'm twisting.
Does it make it better or worse?
It spins easier, but it almost feels like there's something that got caught in between them.
Oh yeah, something
See,
clunks.
something's inside
Something
there.
clunks when you do that.
Yeah.
Does it clunk if you go the other way? Come towards me?
It did.
Oh, what the hell is causing that? There. This is what I remember.
It's still falling down to you?
Oh yeah, as long as I get my hand in there and wiggle.
Should I keep hammering, or what do you think?
Yep. It's too bad it doesn't fall down on its own. It's packed so tight it just doesn't.
Oh man.
I just hope we don't have to do this back there.
Yeah. What if we try and blow just a little air now? Would it blow a little out of here, you think?
Probably. It would poof.
You don't remember doing that before.
Well, we're pretty confident there's 10 times that plugged really tight in that pipe because it's not flowing out easy. We're gonna try and do what I just tried previously with that end open, and it's gonna fly everywhere and make a mess.
You gonna leave the camera here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope my camera battery doesn't go dead.
I hope not. I moved it this way, so maybe I'll keep more in the cement.
Okay.
As big a mess as I was expecting.
I was able to get it like halfway on, so it was still bleeding out air around, but I could kind of tell it was moving corn.
It was, yep, a little bit.
Yeah.
Cloud would come out, and then a little more, and a little bit more.
Yeah, so now we put the clamp back on, try it again, see if it'll push that stuff uphill.
Yeah, that's going to be harder, but
Do the same
there
thing.
isn't that much corn in the pile.
No.
So there probably isn't that much in the pipe going up either.
Probably not. All right, one more time, I hope. Here we go.
Did it do anything? I heard a little rattling, not much, but it sounds like air's coming in there.
It's locked in it. It's locked into it, so there couldn't have been hardly any corn left in there.
I don't think there was.
Well, that was a quick hour-long mishap. Hopefully we don't run into too many more of those. We are now continuing to load the dryer. Dryer's almost full now, so we dumped one truck from the field today, so a little bit wetter corn. gonna start dumping the other ones. This way the dryer is full of drier corn at the bottom, since that won't get as dry. And wetter corn at the bottom, which just works out well. Last load was 19.6, which was up 2.5–3% from the first field. See where this one ends up. Oh, that's better. About 2% wetter. 1.5. Okay, well, 6:30 in the evening now. That was pretty much exactly the time we thought we'd get the dryer started. No, we thought we'd have it before this. Did I start the fans?
I think so. Yeah, I think we might as well.
Initiating fan 1. I hear it. I hear it. There's really nothing to see. The fans are up in here, but I can hear it. One at a time on heat, or should we just try them all?
I'm fine either way. I think it does one and then the second one.
We'll watch them. The bottom one definitely fired. Oh, now they're all going. They're all jumping. So that means each plenum is building heat. It doesn't look a whole lot different when it's running than when it's not. We got all kinds of fun stuff we can watch in here. We can watch our plenum temps. All 3 of them climbed up when I started. That is a good thing. All right, we need to fire our air system and start unloading some here. Unload at, let's just go 10% for now, and let's kick the load on. I don't hear any bad noises yet. Nothing's turned off. Well, there's 2 of us out here working right now, and as they say, it's hard to find good help. It wasn't me. I'll give you a guess as to who it might have been. Nothing like making a bunch of messes on day 1. Everything seems to be running pretty smoothly to the point that Dad took off. So I'm gonna sit here and watch this thing for a couple hours, and then it's probably gonna be about out of corn, so I'll shut it off. And then tomorrow, I hope I'm right this time. Tomorrow we're gonna go. We're gonna move. We're gonna bring bushels in. Things are gonna happen. So in the meantime, thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Head over to Farm Focus. There's a link below for all of our apparel, including this hoodie, which Onyx designed himself. You can get this in a t-shirt as well. And if you don't like t-shirts, all you gotta do is cut the sleeves off of them or use a torch, whatever. You can have yourself a sleeveless. Anyway, thank you guys once again for watching. I appreciate it. Keep it between the rows.